Hey guys, welcome back to our live 4.0 stream. Let me check everything, make sure we're all good. I feel like we need a lobby for the stream to kind of queue people up instead of kind of leaving it a little bit dead in the beginning. But yeah, let's see. All right. It's a little jumpy, so let's let the machine catch up for a minute. Hold on. Free up some memory here, make it a little bit happier. It says excellent, but it looks jumpy to me, so give me a second, guys and gals. Yeah. There we go. It's crazy how much memory, like just browser pages, actually consume nowadays. One of them being this live stream, matter of fact, you know? All right. Should be getting a little better. All right. Tell you what. Let's see. All right, kind of got memory back, so let's give it another look. Guys, welcome back to the stream. I am trying to get it just to where we're making sure that we have a good feed. Let me pause this so it's not overloading it. I'm going to check out the stream on my phone real quick before we get into it. But basically, we're just going to kind of go over a little bit what we were talking about with AI and some of the game engines, but I'm actually going to look a little bit into the Sony Kling game discs because that's a pretty big deal. Kind of want to see where that's at. And if you're in the chat, say what's up. I don't know if you've been joining us for the past few times or not, but we're kind of building our format. We are going to be moving towards a little bit more towards a podcast format even. But that's going to take a little more work putting topics together. So that will probably be about once a week. Let me cut the audio down. Make sure we got a nice smooth feed. Yeah. Yeah, it's sounding like it's good. Video's choppy. All right. So I'm going to keep an eye on the stream on my phone. And I'm not sure why the video is choppy, to be honest. I might just close some apps. But to be honest, it looks like it's doing all right. You know, there's some memory available, but I guess to the computer, it's not too happy about that. So let me close a few things up. You know, it says it's happy, but then it doesn't act like it is. So just got to close stuff till it works, basically. Surprisingly enough, a lot of it actually sits in the browser, which is a bit insane to me how much of it the browsers actually load down the system. So, but I like the portability. I don't want to lose the ability to be able to be on the go. I think we just maybe need to upgrade the RAM on some of these machines. So, all right. I think it should be better. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. Yeah. All right. So as long as the audio is good, the video might be a little bit choppy, but We'll see what we got. All right. The resources look all right, though. Welcome back, guys. So let's see. Let me switch over. I'm going to pull up some of the stuff about Sony killing discs in their, I guess, their next console. I don't know exactly. Let me see. I think I searched it here. Yeah, and they're saying they're going to stop producing physical games. So I guess that's on the current console too, starting January 2028. So it's entirely digital. I mean, you know, for me, I always purchased digital for things that weren't as big a deal or like maybe a subscription. But for the AAA titles that are like special, something that's a collector's, I would always buy the disc because they have resale value. And it's kind of like you can touch and hold the game. But nowadays, everything's just updated. The games are always constantly updated. So whatever you get on the disc isn't actually real time, you know. It's a bit dated. So who knows, man. But, I mean, I think it's probably... this was a long time coming, to be honest. But January 2028 is a good ways away. So we'll see. Who knows? I don't actually think it's really digital versus physical as much as an argument of ownership. It's more of an issue of the fact that when you buy digital, they can take it away. Wasn't it Sony that removed movies that people bought and they paid full price, maybe $15-20 for them? So yeah, download codes. I don't see the point of download codes. I guess if you're gifting it, but you might as well get a card or something. But it's really more of an issue of ownership. The fact that they can pull away games. I had, I think it's on the Wii U, the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze or whatever it was. They shut the store down. They didn't carry it over to the Switch. And if you didn't download them in a certain amount of time, it's gone, right? So I think I ended up losing that game. It was like maybe $40 or something I paid for it. And then they resold it on the Switch, the exact same game. I was pretty pissed about that. So, and it looked great on the Wii U, by the way. It played great. It had the dual screen thing going on, so it's kind of fun. It's actually a lot more fun, in my opinion, doing that. So, profitability and control. I mean, as far as the console prices nowadays, and they keep driving upwards, it's kind of hard to say where it's going to end up. PX6 implications. Yeah, it's going to launch. The PS5 launched without a disc. So I bought the 5 Pro about a year and a half ago. Thank God, because it's went up about $200 since. And you had to buy the disc drive separately, and it kept selling out. So if you didn't catch it, you weren't going to get it. So, I mean, they're already selling all digital. They've been pushing it for about 5 years now. So let's see what some of these reactions are. We'll check out YouTube. Cut off for new physicals. I have a feeling there's going to be pushback on ownership for sure. Let's check out what some of these folks have to say. I mean, Linus Tech. I don't know. I'm on the fence of his feedback.
They are no longer going to be manufacturing PlayStation discs. According to Sony's latest earnings call, 85% of gamers prefer digital anyway, myself included. There's no downside, is what I would say.
Downloads, these games are huge.
Benevolent corporate overlord. Brand new digital games have to compete with second-hand discs for gamers' hard-earned money. That applies a natural downward pressure on pricing. By removing
so it's like
Sony could
they want to make, of course there's a sales benefit to it, right?
Over PlayStation game pricing. Furthermore, going full digital gives Sony complete control over what you can do with the game that you bought.
Man, I'm getting a lot of dropped frames.
Affordable way to play through a console generation's greatest hits could be just cut off. Just because there won't be discs in the box doesn't mean
the one time I didn't actually test the stream privately is like the one time it's killing memory. I think I'm going to just exit Chrome. It's always Chrome, to be honest.
They are no longer going to be manufacturing PlayStation discs. According to Sony's latest earnings call, 85%
watch my memory just come right back.
Anyway, myself myself included. There's no downside, is what I would say if we could trust
see.
Sony to be a benevolent
I just
corporate overlord.
gained.
Brand new digital
Let me
games
get out of this.
have to compete.
Like 8 gigs of RAM just closing Chrome. That's insane. But I don't know if it's the memory so much or if it's more like the my internet. Oh, that's crazy. I might have to close and reopen the stream, guys, but we'll see. I'll try to push through it and see what happens. You know, I'm not sure why a lot of the performance is just really bad this time around. Let's see. Okay. So, you know, I've been looking between generating AI video content in some cases for certain things or learning 3D modeling software. So let me see how it sounds real quick. But we'll do a little comparison. They killed Sora, and I got really used to Sora for a while. So that was frustrating. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. You might hear an echo for me for a while, but I'm gonna make sure it's good. But yeah, some of this stuff is pretty neat. Like, look at this right here. 84 million. Let me close that warning. Oh, wow. That's great.
Where did you stash the bananas? I keep telling you, they're in the sack.
Oh, very funny.
What is the best AI video generator right now? That is what we together are going to find out in this video. We'll be comparing Kling, Seedance, Grok and Google Omni in a blind test to find out which one is your favorite. After that, I will walk you through the strengths and the weaknesses of each tool, so by the end of watching this, you know exactly which tool you should use what for. Now, if you want to have access to all of these tools, then I would recommend using a tool called Higgsfield, where you can get access to all the different models from image.
Oh, okay. It actually integrates all the models. That's why I've been seeing a lot of their stuff online. They have a YouTube channel where they show you how to use it.
We're starting off with a blind test, and I've got no idea which model has generated all of these 4 results. I've had someone on my team make these videos. We've got a few different tests to go.
Kling, I think, is the top one right now for video.
Setting. So we got Seedance 2 4K.
I think Seedance is really good too.
We got Kling 4K on high bitrate. We got Grok in 720p, and we got Google Omni that is natively.
They're redoing it.
But you can also download and upscale it into.
I think he bought Cursor,
so
you can kind of read. Grok just wasn't keeping up.
With test number 1, and apparently this is a simple prompt. So we're using this reference image where this girl is pointing at some ice cream. Then we have the prompt POV of us serving a customer at an ice cream shop. The woman customer says,
we'll check a couple minutes on his, and then you can pop to him if you want to see more of it.
We move to grab that cone and scoop
Dan,
out the vegan dirty order.
was it Dan Keefe?
Realistic POV movement. Okay, this is a.
Whoa, what happened? What happened? Well, I don't know. My machine's not wanting to cooperate today. That's crazy. All right. Let's see if it continues it. You know, it's because I'm watching these in Edge. That's what it is.
Only with the Ultra, you don't get a watermark. So to keep things fair, we've added this. The scoop looks quite good. I think that will be my favorite. So I'm gonna give that gold. The second one I like the most is a close, almost tie between video number 2 and video number 4. The reason why is 2 things are pissing me off. Like this guy is almost on purpose giving the wrong ice cream. On video number 4 though, I would say the audio sounds better.
Usually it's weird, like they put something back while they take everything out. It does weird sequences, you know?
And like video number 1, the physics is way off. I dislike that one. I'm also curious to know which one was your winner, so please let me know in the comments down below. So for test 1,
I'm wondering how he's editing this too, by the way.
Generated. So I picked Seedance here as my favorite one. Then we had Google as the second favorite, and then we had Kling as bonus, and then we had
I wasn't
Grok
expecting that.
as a shift.
Yeah, Grok is not going to
handle
it.
Ranking which one is best at this text-to-video example. So for the prompt, this following prompt was.
That's impressive, actually. I'm surprised.
Ship is raising toward the edge of an extremely deep drop. Cut to the
How old is
captain,
this?
clinging to a
3 days
mast,
ago?
laughing manically as a crew member shouts behind him, "Captain!"
I mean, it's very cinematic, so that's pretty cool. It's just going to have like no continuity.
So this time we
Yeah, it's going to copy like what's popular.
Unfortunately,
That's the
with
problem.
Imagine
You can't make really good IP.
You cannot do text to video. You only can do it with an image input. So that one immediately has the allowance from the man in video 1.
All right, we can get off that. All right, all right, we're actually gonna check, because the thing about AI, short of things like this, which is pretty cool. Look at that. They put the same people put it out again, because the first one was 80 something million. They're like, all right, we're gonna do copy paste it because it's 20 million. Crazy. Shocking. It's like perfect ASMR. All right. So, all right, I think it's working again over here, so we can check out this one.
Goodbye physical PlayStation games. As of January 2028,
I think this is kind of a lot of hype,
brand
but
new physical PlayStation discs. Now, not only does this mean almost
this is going to
certainly
open up the
PS6
window
will be
for
digital
Steam,
only,
by the
but
way.
also good luck trying to keep your entire physical library useful at all.
Because I don't think they've ever really
physical
pulled
media
licenses like
has been
that.
already
But
dying
Sony
for a
has.
while. Most physical games you buy aren't actually playable on the disc. You still have to download
Yeah.
some massive patch to actually make the game fully playable.
And sorry,
But
guys, if the
still,
stream isn't cutting
you're
it.
losing something.
I'm not sure why
Especially
it's
because this is the same time
acting
they
up
announced
today,
they're killing
but
off the PS Vita and the PS3 stores as
we'll
well.
see.
At this point, between PlayStation killing off physical games,
I think my Wi-Fi is
Xbox
just...
almost certainly following suit. The last one standing is Nintendo. You know what? I'm gonna keep buying physical Switch games for as long as I can. Goodbye physical PlayStation games. As of January 2028, Sony.
I think I need to deploy more access points, man. Time for an upgrade. Let's see. Yeah. I think I roamed to like a weaker access point. That's it. Probably on a further access point. Let's see. Yeah, it's dropped my link speed. I don't know if I can bump it down and up live, but I might try it. I might try it just to see what happens, just to toggle it. If it disconnects, guys, I'll reconnect the stream. Let's see. I will go over here, hit disconnect, hit connect, and boom. All right, let's see if I'm still alive. No? Testing 1, 2. All right. I think that might have done it. It's going to yell at me. Oh, cool. It has a little pop-out dashboard. Yeah, that probably did it. All right, close that. See if I'm still getting some drop frames, but a lot less. This is the worst stream I've had this whole time, so it's a little disappointing, but I might have to end it. Let me stop it. Well, Let's see, I'll pull it back up. I was out. I just I'm like a week back, so yeah. Way should be other tests. Got my browser back. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with it, but sorry guys, I'm trying to do a little technical debugging here, but it's really just the Wi-Fi. And it was this is the first kind of time it's done this with performance. So maybe I need a I want to say I want to hardwire it, but I'm also moving around the house. All right.
Game dev is hard, really.
Something with
all
some
the things
animations.
You have to learn, the sheer amount of work needed to create a game, the art, the sounds, the mechanics, and now the huge. It has never been easier to do game dev and multiplayer. It's completely free. You can simply download Core to start creating your own game with no coding skills required. Core comes with thousands of free music, sound, and art assets, and a built-in multiplayer technology, all powered by Unreal Engine with high-quality AAA graphics. Core has everything you need to create games from scratch, like writing your game logic in Lua, making your own scripts, and 3D models. You can create 3D single or multiplayer games faster than ever before. Look at these amazing games made in less than 30 days, and these beautiful words created for a deadmau5 music video in just 10 days. You can also make money with your games through the Core Perks program, which offers a 50% revenue shares for creators. Some Core creators have been able to pay their bills, buy their dream cars, and quit their day jobs with the help of the Perks program. Right now, Core is sponsoring the Global Game Jam Diversifier Challenge called Core Exercise. Make your game using Core to win part of a $10,000.
All right, flip back. Wow, new games, new worlds. So this thing has a lot of just preloaded assets, and I think he said it was built on top of Unreal or something. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Unreal, beginners and pros. The power of Unreal and an accessible interface. So is this still like memory heavy or what, you know? I bet it is. Because if you still need Unreal, let me do a quick search on it. Yeah, if you still need Unreal, then it's going to be heavy. Let's see. Do you still need Unreal Engine installed? But I mean, it's pretty cool. The fact that you can simplify, you can still get all the power and the like shading and lighting of Unreal, but have a bunch of preset assets that you can just use. That's really neat. I mean, it looks good, to be honest. But it's going to lock you to, I think, a lot of PC games. It's not, Unreal doesn't really do mobile or any other formats. Yeah, that looks really good. I think having like a lot of assets to work with is great, and you could just swap out what you need, you know? Core never required Unreal Engine to be installed. Wow. It's a standalone free PC platform where you just download the client, which houses all the games and assets. The Unreal Engine runtime is bundled inside of it. You never touch the Unreal editor, never install Unreal Engine, and you can't use Unreal Engine tools like blueprints or C++. So it's its own thing, but it still has the runtime environment. Okay, so is that like for testing? Scripting and core is done with Lua using its built-in script editor. One thing worth noting, in maintenance mode at this point. Oh, okay, so they might have jumped off of it. Out of time, a standalone co-op. So it might not even be, oh, they're switching engines or something. I don't know. It's pretty cool, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how like comprehensive of an engine it is. Let's see. Let's check that out. Well, we'll finish this guy's video before I check that out. But that's
prize pool. This year's
pretty
theme
cool.
is
We'll jump
duality.
through.
Use Core to create an amazing game that fits the theme and submit your entry by January 30th. Use the links in the description to learn more about the event and download Core for free.
Base44 super agents. The next thing you can't live without.
Of course, AI
Bring up your email,
build apps with
schedule
AI,
meetings.
right? Base.
When you start game development or when
That
you
looks
play
really good,
games,
though.
you often come up with what you think are super cool ideas that would make the game amazing. We often see beginners starting game dev wanting to create huge open worlds, MMOs with procedural content, unique NPC with advanced AI, and blah blah blah. While it's super cool to dream big, the gap between idea and execution can around that idea to make it viable. If you think of a more realistic or beautiful, it's very ideas get more complex. You face quirks and limitations of your engine. Not only that, but you also face the fact that making
I think it goes without saying that making games is fairly difficult. As a result, it's important for devs to use all of the tools available to them
Pop
to
in.
ensure that development is as simple as possible.
There
In
we
this
go.
video,
Godot
we'll
Blender. What's
showcase
that
one of
last
these
one?
tools, namely curves, and how to use them in Godot to save yourself hours of tinkering in GDScript. In game development, there are many situations where you
Is the
need to
curves for
define a relationship
keyframing or
between
what?
an input value and an output value. This happens all of the time. If you're creating an FPS game with damage drop-off, you would want, or if you're creating a moving platform, the position of the platform. Most of these relationships can be adequately represented.
He's going to give like
Whilst
a
we
little
couldn't
bit of.
write out the damage
All right.
drop-off by the
So
curve,
I
adjusting
might actually tinker in it myself, but I don't think I can really. I'm learning. So it'd be learning together, and that would be kind of boring. But it might be fun to follow a tutorial that's like quick and easy. See any releases. So as far as the Sony killing disc thing, that's just kind of like, it's a bit of a fad. I think we're already going in that direction. I don't think it bothers people as much as they're willing to admit. The real issue is ownership and whether they can pull games away. Let's see, I'll flip to camera. Let's see how that works. Let's check out on, what is it? Let's compare Steam. Can Steam games / licenses be pulled like how Sony did that? Pulled content. Let's see how that works. Because that's really what it's coming down to. It's like you don't want to pay a full price for a game just to have it yanked, right? So check out the bit rate. Stream health, good for now. Yeah, it's dropping. I'm gonna set up an access point here. Technically possible, but Steam's track record is very different from what Sony did. So Sony in 2023 announced it would remove purchased Discovery TV shows from users' PlayStation library entirely. Can you imagine buying a whole like box set just for them to yank it? That's crazy to me. It's like, okay, well, then I'm not going to buy it, you know? Yeah, they did in 2023, all Discovery. So anyone who bought a bunch of Discovery TV content on Sony PlayStation, yanked. That could be hundreds or thousands of dollars. Content people paid for would just vanish. They walked it back after backlash, but the point stood they could do it. Okay, so they did restore it. I don't know how they ate the cost on that or what. It's because you never owned it, just a revocable license. Whereas if you buy like Blu-rays, which is better quality, right? And you don't get the content yanked. So that's pretty good, you know? So when you buy a Steam game, you're buying a license, not the game. So it's the same thing, but Valve made this explicit in checkout disclaimers around late 2024 after all the stuff happened. Partly in response to California's law requiring digital storefronts to disclose the licenses. So, but I don't think Valve has ever actually delisted like that, right? So they have a good track record for sure. So buying games on Steam is pretty good. And Steam's OS is now runnable on anything. It's a Linux-based OS. You can run it on portables. You can run it on desktop. So they're trying to replace the OS platform completely, like Windows completely. And they might even, now they're pushing their own consoles, although it's over $1,000. So I don't know, but coupling that with PCs, they're kind of replacing the Microsoft model where you get consoles and PCs combined. Delisting happens all the time. Expired music licenses. Yeah, I noticed that on streaming platforms. It's kind of annoying. And there'll be big artists sometimes too, and you just lose an album. But expired music licenses, publisher disputes, studio closures. Okay. Oh, yeah. When a studio closes, you got to yank it? What if they're like out of business? Let's see. When a game is delisted from the store, it's almost always stays in your library and remains downloadable. So, which makes sense because games are almost the gaming industries, they're more picky. They're going to like protect it, right? So games like the original Deadpool, Alan Wake, during its music license lapse. Yeah, they pulled Alan Wake because of a music license that they used in the game. They pulled a whole game because the song or a song that they licensed in the game lapsed. That's insane. And hundreds of others were delisted but stayed playable for owners. So if you had it downloaded, you were good. But they delisted it for new sales. Or re-downloads. I don't know if you could re-download it, but actual library revocation is extremely rare on Steam and usually tied to legal force. So yeah, Steam is really good about it. Unless it's like malware or fraudulent purchases and stuff like that. But Valve is, which runs Steam, they're really, really good at protecting the users. Makes you kind of want to run Steam OS instead of, buying call. If Steam is getting a lot of these games already, it's starting to make you wonder if you want to. I love consoles because I want to get off the PC, but if there's risk there, and Sony does have their originals, so that's kind of hard. The real risk vectors are things that Steam cannot control. So DRM. Ubisoft's The Crew is the poster child for DRM. Server shut down in 2024, and the game became unplayable. And even though it sat in libraries. Yeah. That's the stop killing games thing, where if you have it on server, you need a server to connect, right? Like Fortnite. It's the biggest example of that. And they shut it down, and you buy a lot of that online content. You just spent maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars for skins, dances, whatever it is, right? Content. and it's gone. They just shut it. So there's got to be offline mode if you're buying all that content. They want a lot of these providers. They want the benefit of microtransactions without like the responsibility, I guess, of honoring it. So let's see. Yeah, Steam's kind of like the winner in a lot of it, but well, and then you have the GOG's website. I don't know, what does it stand for? Let me look it up. Where you can actually keep the licenses of the games you download. That's actually cool. I know it's GOG.com. I don't know what it stands for, but I'll pop it here. So, let's see. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with that news. Let's see. And you know, to be honest, if I will say if the subscription on the Sony PS Plus it's like $160 a year, and you open up the cloud library and everything. If they keep it at that price, I'll be okay with it. And not do what Microsoft did, which was like double or triple it, which is an insane price change. I think, man, that's one of the things that's scaring people. Is like the fact that they can do that, right? So, let me stop this. Checking on the stream, guys. Make sure the quality's doing okay. I'll try to get it better next time. For some reason, the bitrate just really plummeted on this run. I don't know why. The Wi-Fi doesn't want to cooperate. So let's see. I'm gonna watch myself. What I see on screen and on my end and what you guys see are two totally different things. So. And thanks for everyone who's been joining and supporting while we kind of get this mess figured out, you know. We appreciate it. I'm actually trying to just get it sorted out in a way that we can have more portability. So that's why I'm testing it in this way, but I might have to drop quality for it to be more portable like this. Because if I'm pushing, you know, like 4K HDR, right? And then, you know, it's going to be hard to do when you're on the go, right? So it's not complaining about dropped frames anymore. Oh, I think it is. We'll see. All right. Well, what may happen, guys, is I might end the stream, do a little bit of testing and start it up since it's choppy. So